Sothern Show, starring Ann Sothern.
As Katie. All the fellas go for Katie. Katie. Katie.
Presented by Johnson's Wax, makers of Glade, the light-scented air freshener that makes indoor air seem fresh as all outdoors.
Yes. Yes. Oh, yes, sir. I've booked it every Thursday through June. Fine.
Good morning, Mr. Debris.
Olive, come with me.
Yes, sir.
Well, good morning, Mr. Debris.
Kate, excuse me. Katie, do I look like an idiot to you?
Well, of course not.
And yet I am the manager of a hotel. Now, how do you explain that?
Oh,
Sit down, please, and take a letter.
Yes, sir.
Mr. Arthur Hawke, Angus Television Productions. Mr. Hawke, last evening it was my misfortune to attend a special preview showing of a new television series that you will have the temerity to produce during the coming season. Never has my intelligence been so cruelly insulted.
Excuse me, Mr. Debris, what is this new show?
I believe it is called Loving Arms, which is also the name of the so-called hotel where it all takes place. It is a stupid, idiotic parody of our profession, and as president of the Hotel Managers Association, I believe it is my duty to make a vigorous protest.
Oh, now, the nice thing about television is that if you don't like what you're looking at, you can always switch to a Western.
You may find it less amusing, Miss O'Connor, when you learn that the assistant manager of the Loving Arms is played by a teenager who pops her bubble gum at the end of every line of dialogue.
Uh-oh. Olive, leave room at the bottom of the page. I might want to sign that letter, too. Now, wait a minute. I'm only kidding. You're not going to send that letter, are you?
I most certainly am. New paragraph. At the moment, my television set is out of order. And after seeing the preview of Loving Arms, I do not intend to have it fixed. The writer of this series knows even less about the hotel business than he knows about writing, if that is possible. Sincerely, strike that. Indignantly, James A. Devery, President, Hotel Managers Association of North America, Incorporated.
Is this the manager's office?
Well, I'm Miss O'Connor, the assistant manager.
Well, is that a fact? Honey, with your looks, you could be a secretary.
Well, thank you, I think. You have an appointment with Mr. Debris?
No, as a matter of fact, I haven't.
Oh, I'm sorry. He has such a busy schedule, you couldn't see him without an appointment.
Oh.
So why don't I make one for you right now?
Would you? Oh, I'd certainly appreciate that, Miss McConnell.
O'Connor.
Oh.
And what is your name?
Tyler. Terry Tyler.
Tyler? And what is the nature of your business, Mr. Tyler?
Television.
Television. Oh, you're a salesman who's here to sell Mr. Debris a new set.
No, I'm a writer, and I'm here to sock Mr. Debris in the nose. Is this the office?
You can't go in there.
No, why not?
Your appointment has just been canceled.
Now, listen, Miss McConnell.
O'Connor.
Whatever your name is, I'm going to belt him one right in the bread box. That creep wrote a letter to my producer.
Your producer? Oh, you're that writer. Oh, Mr. Tyler. Oh, well, Mr. Tyler, I know all about this. And I'm surprised that a person of your intelligence would get this upset about a silly little letter.
Nobody of my intelligence would, but the producer did. And the sponsor's very upset about it. And the whole series might be canceled, and I'm going to paste him against the wall.
No, you're not going to paste anybody.
Oh.
I didn't see that preview, but judging from Mr. Debris' reaction, that show doesn't sound very good.
Maybe not, Miss McConnell.
O'Connor.
McConnell, but it's the best I can do, and I'd like to get it on the air.
Well, are you really sure it's the best you can do? Don't you maybe think you could do a little better if you knew what you were writing about?
So what's to know? I've stayed in plenty of hotels. I got the towels to prove it.
Well, it's not the same when you work in one. Things look different from the other side of a linen closet.
So what am I supposed to do, get a job in a hotel?
Why not?
Of all the crazy ideas. Oh, maybe it's not so crazy. Yeah. If the producer wants authenticity, I'll give it to him.
Good.
When do I start work, Miss McConnell?
Here? Under the same roof as Mr. Debris?
Well, he started the whole schmear, didn't he? I'll go in and talk to him about it.
You better not go in there. I don't think you better get near him.
Why, does he bite?
Well, with his bark, he doesn't have to bite.
Are you sure you can handle him?
Oh, are you kidding? I can wrap Mr. Debris around my little finger. Here, why don't you listen in?
Oh, right.
Excuse me, Mr. Debris.
Yes, Katie?
What would you say if I told you that the writer of Loving Arms would like to do his research here at the Bartley House? You know that television show.
What? Don't ever mention that idiot show or anyone connected with it in this hotel again.
Well, your little finger sure looks great with Mr. Debris wrapped around it.
Well, he didn't give me a chance to explain.
Doesn't he realize that a good TV series about a hotel could help the entire industry?
Yes, it couldn't it? Now, just a minute. As assistant manager of this hotel, I have the authority to hire any personnel I think is necessary. And as far as I'm concerned, you're necessary. When do you want to start your research?
Miss McConnell!
Oh, Connor!
Whatever your name is, you're a doll.
Well, I didn't have quite that kind of research in mind.
Watch your step, please.
Is that the best you can do?
I'm sorry, sir. May I give you a hand?
No, thank you. Take me down to the lobby. I'm in a hurry. Express, please.
Yes, sir.
I said down.
Oh, are we going up? I'll fix that. Kind of bumpy, isn't it? I'm trying to learn how to use this new manual control.
We are going too fast.
You know, I think you may be right.
Well, do something.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. So I'm new on the job.
Obviously.
Everything's under control.
Are you sure?
Oh, yes, sir. I just couldn't find the right button.
You couldn't find it.
Well, you know what they say. Practice makes perfect.
From now on, you will confine your practice to an empty elevator in some other hotel.
I beg your pardon?
I am Mr. Devery, the manager of this hotel, and your ex-employer. You're fired.
Wouldn't you know? Lobby, sir. Would you like to go up?
Thank you. I'll walk. Yes, Marcel, I'm very interested in the way you've reorganized the kitchen. How does it work?
I will demonstrate. You're a waiter with an order for a salad. Oui?
May we make it a tomato salad?
Salade et tomate, s'il vous plaît. He slices a tomato. Voilà. While he prepares the sauce. Voilà. While he washes the lettuce.
Bonjour, messieurs.
Qu'est-ce que vous faites?
Vous m'avez dit de laver la laitue.
Mais oui.
Je la lave.
Mais non.
what do I owe this honor?
Can a boss take his assistant to lunch once in a while?
Well, you can do it every day as far as I'm concerned. You're just always so busy.
I know, but I've had a pretty hectic morning. I feel like a little relaxment. Thank you.
Chicken a la king, spaghetti, ravioli. What's on the diet lunch?
Hamburger patty, cottage cheese. How's about you, mister? Hot pastrami?
No, but you might bring us some water. We didn't seem to get any.
Ah, sure. Nice size of water.
You got a new waiter?
Yes. Yes, I believe it is.
You know, the turnover in personnel around here is fantastic. Reminds me of an article I was reading in the hotel manager's bulletin. It was about on-the-job training.
It sounds fascinating.
Yes, it said that service needn't be interrupted while a new employee is being trained. Well, I agree in principle. However, it seems to me that there could be some sort of school standard so that it might be easier to bring them into the... Look out!
Here, let me sock it up.
Get away from me! You!
Yes.
The elevator operator and the salad chef. What is going on here?
Well, Mr. Devery, I can explain.
You can.
Well, it won't be easy, but I can explain. This is Terry Tyler.
You know this saboteur?
I'm Terry Tyler, sir.
Who?
Terry Tyler.
I still say who. I don't know Terry Tyler from Peter Totter.
Sure you do. The writer. You know, the television writer. I created the new series, Loving Arms.
You are Terry Tyler.
That's what I said. And Miss McConnell thought it would be a good idea if I did some research for the hotel.
You thought.
Well, he couldn't learn at a better hotel.
This is outrageous. Miss O'Connor, to do this kind of thing behind my back, such disloyalty is unforgivable. Will you please get out of my way and out of my hotel?
Yes, sir.
Yep.
Looks like I upset more than the ice water.
Here's that garage report that Mr. Devery wanted.
Oh, thank you, Katie.
Will you give it to him when he comes in?
Oh, why don't you give it to him?
Morning. Olive?
That's why.
It's been more than 2 weeks. How long can he stay mad at you?
Well, I don't know what the record is for grudge holding, but Mr. Devery's out to break it.
Olive, did you see the trash in this morning's newspaper?
No, sir. Would you like me to take a letter to the editor?
I would not. Listen to this. TV chatter. Insiders reveal that Terry Tyler, whose new hotel comedy, Loving Arms, premieres tonight at 9:30, did his research for the series at the Bartley House.
Oh, what's wrong with that?
Get me the chairman of the board on the phone.
Yes, sir.
I will apologize to him for a member of my staff allowing this hotel to be linked with that nauseating program. Never mind. After he sees the show, he'll call me.
Well, if this keeps up, I'm going to join the Foreign Legion.
They don't take women.
Well, then I'll do the next best thing.
What's that?
I'll transfer to the Bartley Algiers. I've been 17.
I'll take over, pal.
Terry, what do you think you're doing?
Taking my girl for a ride. Out of gas.
Mother always told me I should get out and walk.
Did she say anything about climbing?
Now, Terry, you can here. What if Mr. Devery found...
Listen, I just worked like a dog to put together a whole new show. We finished taping it last night, and the sponsor loved it. Thanks to you and all the sense in that pretty head. And I thought maybe we could watch it together in my apartment over a bird and a bottle.
Oh, honey. Instead of a bird and bottle, I'd better watch it at home over an old glass of Diet Cal.
Come on. The reception's better at my place.
No, we better save the loving arms for the television screen. No, honey, I have a big screen.
Oh, Katie, don't be that way.
Now, 17, please. I have work to do. I'm in enough trouble with Mr. Devery already over your old show.
Well, you'll be out of trouble as soon as he sees it. It's completely different from what he saw before. A whole new cast, and nobody falls over anything.
Well, unfortunately, he won't see it. His television set is still out of order, and he likes it that way.
If he wanted to get it repaired, who would he call?
Well, the electrician in the hotel. Why?
Suppose I could get him to watch. Would you join me later for that bird and bottle?
Honey, if you could get Mr. Devery in a forgiving mood, I'd not only shoot the bird, but cook it myself.
Where's the electrician's shop?
In the sub-basement. Wait, just a minute. Honey, what for did you want?
Oh, it doesn't matter. I just came along for the ride. Did anyone ever tell you look just like Van Johnson?
Go, man, go.
Oh, Gloria, it's Mr. Devery. Now, I've had a long, hard day, and I'm going to go to bed. It's now 9:25. I don't want to be disturbed on any account for the rest of the night. Now, thank you. Night.
Louis, the electrician.
I don't want an electrician.
How's that?
I said I don't... wait a minute. What do you want?
I gotta fix the TV. It won't take a minute.
I don't want the TV fixed.
Sorry, Mac. Boss's orders.
I am the boss around here, and I'm ordering you to leave that set alone.
I only take orders from Barney, the chief electrician. You know what your trouble is, Mac? Loose wiring. I can't fix this baby here. I gotta take it downstairs.
All right. Take it away and don't bring it back. Good night.
Hold it, Mac. I brought a replacement.
I don't want a replacement. I want to go to bed.
I gotta plug it in.
All right. Do whatever you have to do and go away.
Wait a minute, I gotta get the light. Gotta adjust the picture.
Angus
Tell me when it's the picture.
proudly presents Loving Arms, the hotel where anything can happen, and usually does.
How's that?
Turn that abomination off. I've seen it before, and I don't want to look at it again.
No, it's still a little fuzzy.
Fuzzy, it's foul.
I gotta get a bigger screwdriver. Any better?
No, it's not going to get any better, believe me. Hello, Katie. Miss O'Connor, what are you doing here?
Shh, it's starting.
And now, Squishy, the world's finest freshwater sponges, presents Loving Arms, starring Ann Sothern and Don Porter.
Ann Sothern? I used to see her in pictures when I was a little girl.
Change the cast. Won't help it any. Miss McConnell, may I see you a moment, please?
McConnell?
I wonder where I got that name.
Yes, Mr. Emery.
Oh, there you are.
I always knew she wasn't a natural blonde.
Miss McConnell, my mind is like a hotel, open 24 hours a day.
Yes, with several vacancies on the top floor.
Kitty?
You didn't think the doorman that I hired was going to be any good. You don't think anyone I hire is any good.
I didn't say that.
Well, who hires all the good employees around here? Who hired Mrs. Dean, the housekeeper?
Mrs. Dean was the worst housekeeper we ever had. She stole and she drank.
Exactly. And who hired her?
Me?
Nobody else but. And who hired Charlie, the porter, who insulted all the guests and swept all the ashes under the rugs and... Well, let's forget Charlie.
What?
Because I hired him. But who hired Pierre, the master chef, who turned out to be a short-order cook?
All right. Who hired Eddie, the desk clerk?
Was he good?
He was a gem.
All right, I'll take him.
Kitty, why are we arguing? You're right as usual, and I'm wrong. I'm just an old grump.
Well, what does that make me, an assistant crumb?
Dramatic license.
Well, there it was.
I suppose I can expect your lawyers to call me in the morning.
You again? I might have known it. I suppose you're behind this, Miss McConnell.
Oh, well, Connor, and I think it was...
Terry Tyler, I want to tell you just one thing. I thought that was darn good.
Oh, well, thank you, Mr. Devery. I thought it was pretty good myself.
What do you think, Katie?
Well, outside of the overacting, I thought it was fine. Congratulations, Terry.
Do we have a date?
You bet we
You know, I especially liked the part where the manager found the hotel was booked solid for 3 whole months.
He was so happy the tears ran down his little cheeks.
I must confess, I had my handkerchief out.
Well, I'm glad it went over so well. I hope you didn't mind us using the Barclay House in the publicity.
Mind, I'd be sore if you hadn't. Hey, you know, we ought to put a plaque in the lobby.
Terry Tyler researched here.
Well, I guess we'd better be running along. We don't want to keep you up, Mr. Devery.
Oh, I'm wide awake. Sit down. You know, I've got a million stories about the hotel business, and every one of them make a wonderful script for your shows.
Well, some of
I remember one time in the Sheboygan Plaza in 1948. I was only the desk clerk, but there was this Elks convention.
Mr. Devery, say good night.
Good night. You see, the manager of the Sheboygan Plaza was...
But, Katie, what about our supper?
I'll call room service and have them send you a bird in a bottle.
This manager was allergic to horses, and I'll be darned if somebody didn't smuggle one up in the freight elevator.
Nice.
You should have seen his face when he opened the door to the bridal suite. There was this mangy horse. He was lying there.
Thank you. I don't know. It strikes me the lunch in the hotel dining room was a pretty poor substitute for late supper in my apartment.
Well, you can always order a bird and bottle here. Personally, I recommend the salad.
Oh, that depends on who washes the lettuce.
Hello there.
Oh.
Hello, Mr. Devery. Won't you join us?
Well,
Please do.
no, thank you. I'm meeting someone. As a matter of fact, someone from your show wants some pointers on the part.
Oh.
Oh, there she is. Excuse me.
Devery.
Miss Sothern, I'm so glad you could come.
Oh, thank you.
Our table's right over here.
Oh. I think it's delightful of you to ask me to lunch.
Oh, I assure you, the pleasure is all mine.
The Ann Sothern Show has been presented by Johnson's Wax, makers of Clear, the self-polishing floor wax that dries clear as glass, never yellows.
Well, good night, everybody. Stay happy.
gal they adore.
The gal they adore is Katie. Dallas, give her all for Katie. 'Cause Katie makes them whistle for more. She's a twinkle and you star above when you see her passing by. Just one look and they'll fall in love. She's the apple of their eye. Oh, my, to Katie. All the fellas fall for Katie. 'Cause Katie is the gal they adore. They all want more. Oh, Katie.
And now, the Ann Sothern Show, starring Ann Sothern.
As Katie. All the fellas go for Katie. Katie.
Presented by Johnson's Wax, makers of Glade, the light-scented air freshener that makes indoor air seem fresh as all outdoors.
Yes. Oh, yes, sir, I've booked it every Thursday through June. Fine.
Good morning, Mr. Debris.
Olive, come with me.
Yes, sir.
Well, good morning, Mr. Debris.
Kate, excuse me. Katie, do I look like an idiot to you?
Well, of course not.
And yet I am the manager of a hotel. Now, how do you explain that?
Oh,
Sit down, please, and take a letter.
Yes, sir.
Mr. Arthur Hawke, Angus Television Productions. Mr. Hawke, last evening it was my misfortune to attend a special preview showing of a new television series that you will have the temerity to produce during the coming season. Never has my intelligence been so cruelly insulted.
Excuse me, Mr. Debris, what is this new show?
I believe it is called Loving Arms, which is also the name of the so-called hotel where it all takes place. It is a stupid, idiotic parody of our profession, and as president of the Hotel Managers Association, I believe it is my duty to make a vigorous protest.
Oh, now, the nice thing about television is that if you don't like what you're looking at, you can always switch to a Western.
You may find it less amusing, Miss O'Connor, when you learn that the assistant manager of the Loving Arms is played by a teenager who pops her bubble gum at the end of every line of dialogue.
Uh-oh. Olive, leave room at the bottom of the page. I might want to sign that letter, too. Now, wait a minute. I'm only kidding. You're not going to send that letter, are you?
I most certainly am. New paragraph.